morning. It is day 5, Thursday. Waking up here on Little Sag. Beautiful morning, lots of fog. I got the doing a little time-lapse photography on that area over there. It's pretty nice. There was a lot of fog this morning rolling coming out of the bay. Sun's just coming up. It's about 7:45 already, actually. I'm this morning for breakfast. I'm having some oatmeal again, maple and brown sugar, and some more of my favorite citrus energy drink. Today I'm headed off of my little island, and I'm going to head north, well, west and then north, to up somewhere from here. It's been very peaceful here. Thought I just heard some voices, that's why I quit talking. Very peaceful. Seen 3 canoes go by the whole time. My explorer yesterday of the lake, there was nobody on any campsite that I could find. I didn't check the very extreme southern one. There's a pair down there actually, and a very extreme western one. There's a big island with some, but there were some people on that little one way down there when I first got here that first day, but then they left. And other than that, I mean, got the whole place to myself. I think I do hear voices somewhere. It's amazing how early some people must get up to be traveling by before 8 o'clock. That could just be loons too. There's 3 of them. We're all over that tree up there now. Well, quite a morning here on Thursday morning. Finally packed up here about 9:15. Got myself moving. Little Slag is just like a mirror. Been loons flying around and making all kinds of noise. It's just been a beautiful morning. Got visited by some gray jays. Passing this really cool rock structure up here. Thought about camping in the campsite down past that a little ways, because I'm pretty sure it's probably a hiking trail to it. But isn't this lake something? Maybe he's diving. There's Virgin Lake. And over there, here's the other parent with another diving baby. fast here. There it is. The West Fern, big fuzzy hills. Trees are growing back though. Mostly birch and popple. The island there is all jack pines. So far the campsites have been neglected, they don't look usable. Portages are good though. Must have been a pretty lake before the fire. This is Powell Lake, also another one devastated in the fire, Cabby fire. But there's this little landing spot right here. It's pretty nice actually, and a little bit of a trail. And it's an approximate location of a campsite, although I can't see anything from shore. That's a pretty good trail. Couldn't see anything on the other side of this. There's a big rocky bluff. This point off here to my right. But looks like I'm not the only one who's went in here to check this out. Tent pad. Trail there. Trail back here. Let's go this way. Alright, this is the rocky bluff. Way up here. Holy cow. It's an actual fire grate up here. Holy cow, this is cool. Look at this view. That's pretty neat. Well, looks like an official campsite to me. There has been a fire in here in somewhat recent memory. This little jack pine behind me that's giving shade right now is going to end soon though. It's going to be kind of a blistering one up here. I think the rest of the day is the only bad thing. Wow, look at this view. This is French Lake, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. I passed through all of the other little lakes, West Fern and Powell and Virgin, and then actually I'm in the reverse order there. But I'm here, and all burned around here, except for a little spot in that valley right over there. And then there's a big cliff right there where there's a portage over there to back to Gillis. And then this clump of land over here survived. And the campsite I'm in. It burned behind it, but the campsite itself is fine. I chose it because it's up in the air and it's shaded. And actually kind of interesting. But I'm just kicking back there. There are a couple of flat rocks I've rearranged there a little bit. Probably cook there tonight. Pretty soon. Let's go back down here to this landing. This is one of the two negatives of this campsite. It's got this really steep landing down here, and it gets worse. These slippery boulders that are angled toward the water. I didn't even see this on my way in because it looked so haphazard. Couldn't see. I was out in the lake out there. Anyway, so I didn't even land here. Later, after I got here, I added these rocks here. They were kind of scattered in the water, and I stacked them up right there so a person can get out there to this bigger rock where there's a shelf with deeper water, so you can actually get some water in a bucket or whatever. But also my plan is that there's kind of a gravelly area, flat gravelly area here. Might be nice for loading and unloading the canoe. Way better than the way I did it, which I'll show you. I did some laundry as well. Shirt and these pants were getting pretty nasty, so I just take a dry bag, get some water in it, stuff these clothes in it, put some soap in it, take it back in the woods and scrub it the best I can, dump it out, go get some clean water in it, bring it back, rinse the clothes, dump it out, and hang them up, and it's working. Here is the other landing, also with a horribly slippery slope, 45-degree angle rock down to the water, with a shelf and a boulder field out there. See all the paint on the rocks from the canoes. This is where I loaded and unloaded. It was a tough one. I had to really work. Luckily there's no wind, so I was able to let go of the canoe for a second, grab something, throw it up on probably on this rock here or whatever, and then just keep working until I got it. But I won't be, I think I'll use the other spot. There's a portage right here, tiny little one that goes into Fern Lake, which then there's a portage from that one into the bottom end of Gillis. But the other bad thing about this campsite, well, first one more nice thing, beautiful cedar here. It provided shade all day for me, great big nice cedar. But it's tent pads. There's this one, which isn't too bad other than it's all rocks and roots. There's one little sliver across the back there that's fairly flat, and no big rocks and roots, but there is a dip, and just squeeze the tent in there, it's pretty tight. The only other usable tent pad I found is this one, which isn't too bad. A couple of rocks in it, but it is on a pretty tremendous slope, about as steep as I'd want to put a tent on, really. But I didn't. I chose this one over here. And the rest of the campsite is rocks. This rock, fire grate area, which I've cleaned up. Somebody had a rock pile inside the fire grate. Fire grate was piled with rocks inside, which I can't figure out why anyone would do that. And they were apparently burning stuff on top of it. Very weird. And then once they got done with that, it looks like they took everything else and just flung it all over the place. All the logs and firewood and everything was just scattered everywhere. So I rebuilt the rock chimney around the fire grate. I stacked the wood and logs back up, gathered up the firewood. Looks like a bunch of it went off the cliff here, but I'm not going down there. There's just a cliff back here behind the, watch your step, behind the fire grate, and it goes all the way to the lake that way. Pretty amazing. well, you can see here, burn area right in here. Got close. But that's pretty much the whole campsite. Latrine trail. And it doesn't get used much. Really a beautiful view out on a point like this. There's another indicator it doesn't get used much. This campsite. The latrine is kind of overgrown back here with bushes and raspberry bushes and stuff. Although it is a new style, one of the new big green ones with a lid. Probably the old one got wiped out in the fire, most likely. Probably back here somewhere. But yeah. That's pretty much the campsite there. Oh, there is one more tent pad for reference. Partway back, quite a ways from the campsite. Got some slope to it, a couple rocks, some roots, but it would be a decent site if you wanted it. In the tent at 7:45. This island or peninsula, this campsite is just swarming with these bald-faced hornets. See them around here? There's everywhere, and they just buzz around everything continuously. I don't know what they're doing, including me, just continuously all around me, all around my legs, around my head. Just, and they fly off, and then here comes the next one. And they really don't like the tent here. But every just 30 seconds or so we get another one. And then they get stuck underneath the fly. It's quite a bugger. Boy, they get mad then. I have the fly open on this side toward the lake right now because it's still, the sun is set behind the campsite. But it's pretty dark in the campsite, but the lake is still light out there. Got another hour of, just about anyway, of good light outside. But couldn't stand those things anymore. It's driving me crazy ever since I got stung by one on Tuesday. Or no, Sunday. That's just, it's really kind of, they're starting to get to me a little bit, because they're mean. They seem to be quite vicious, territorial. They seem to attack. If you try to shoo them away, they come at you even worse. So if you hold still, they just get closer and closer. I think they're trying to pick a fight. I don't know what they're really doing, but I'll have to look it up when I get home. So, and here they can't get me. So for now, I'll just sit out here and watch the cliff. Loons are out here playing, and I'll get myself ready for bed early.